was sharing a little bit about his beautiful journey, which actually began back in his village, where he noticed that there was a crisis. And I think that crisis pushed him to innovate, to find solutions, and which gave birth to Faborg and many other sustainable dyeing projects. So today, Shankar will be sharing a little bit about his journey with us.
It's so amazing how everything started. Just before going into detail, I want to tell you guys where I come from, who I am. I come from a very good weavers community, like who's been doing weaving for, I don't know, thousands of years that I know of. My parents have been telling me stories that how the tradition has been carried on, for such a long time. So coming from there, it's like every day when you come out, there is warping going on, and there is sizing, and there are kids working with the parents, helping them to do the warp, helping them in the every bit of process. It's not even a choice whether you want to learn weaving or not. It's like you have to do it. Every day there is something like, I was sitting in my holidays, marking the graph. You have to literally mark every graph and punch it and align it right to get the design right in the loom. It's a big process and you don't have a choice. Every day we go and learn it there. Coming from there, I wanted to diverse myself. I saw a lot of chemicals being used in the dyeing. So I didn't want to take the same path. I took, detour. I had to find myself, Started working as a merchandiser for fashion industry for 5 years, selling some high fashion. And when I wanted to start my own freelance company. That's when I decided called Faborg. So I wanted to do, more sustainable fabrics. But I have to know about it more, first, than doing it. So I started my company, I started doing my research, I got my, understanding of what the natural fibers are. In 2015, I spent the whole time doing my research and my freelance job. And after that, in 2017 April, and it was a very beautiful thing how I found these fibers, how I found this plant. So the plant which I'm talking about right now, like the Boostringham plant, you would have seen this everywhere in your life. But there's a big chance nobody ever noticed it as some plant which you can make fabric out of. See, when I was sitting next to my window, I was just watching outside my window, watching at this plant. There's a big bush, and I could see like around some 15 hummingbirds around this plant. It's so beautiful. I was surprised, like 15 hummingbirds in a plant, and it was a hot summer day. Everyone knows our hot summer day. It's brown everywhere, and this plant thrives in the summer. And this I've seen in my young life, when I was young, very, very young, I've seen the hummingbirds making nest out of the pod fiber. This one, what you're seeing. They used to make nest out of it. I've seen a nest made out of it. And in olden days, for the newborn baby, they make a half belt. As soon as they were born, they were making half belt out of this fiber. So these were the very few things, very few informations that I knew. And then I had to research and I was very excited. I came back to Helen and I said, there are some beautiful fibers in this plant. Maybe I want to do a little research. And she was very excited, didn't know what she's signing up for. She said, yes, go ahead. And, she was not even in the country. And then I was like, okay, let me collect some. And I started my research from then on, and I had the first fabric after 5 months. In September 2nd, when we opened the office, we had the first fabric in our hand, 2017. It's called Boostringham. The botanical name of this plant is Calotropis. So it's widely available weed. It is perennial in nature, which means it survives all year with no water, no fertilizer, no care. But It has two different fibers out of, which comes out of it. One from the pod, the fruit of the plant, and one is the stem of the plant. Both the fibers, compared to the pod, it is challenging to extract the stem fibers and, more sustainable way without using any chemicals. That took me a longer time because using chemicals is more easier. It took us a lot more time, than the pod fiber. So it was more challenging. But the unique thing about these fibers are, these two fibers are hollow in nature, which means you can compare these fibers with the wool. For example, the finest cashmere fabric what you see is around measured in the diameter of microns is 15 microns. But pod fiber is around 10 microns. So you can compare this with cashmere, and the stem fiber is almost around 20 microns, but the merino wool is almost like 24 microns. So it's more finer than merino wool. So it is hollow in nature. It's a good advantage that it is made of, cellulose, not protein. That gives you advantage of with the wool we have a lot of issues like it doesn't dry quickly, it gets easily damaged. There's a lot of other issues, allergies and everything. But with this fiber, it is the fiber itself is antimicrobial in nature, which means it does not allow the bacteria to grow. When we tested this fact, it was so amazing. Like I could even track back why they even use this fiber as a half belt, because under it divides the baby into two, any human being into two. Basically, when you have sweat coming that way, it will absorb that sweat and does not allow the bacteria to grow. So it's antimicrobial. You avoid a lot of urinary infection for the kids. It's so amazing how I found out when I found out each and every step of this fiber. It is very exciting, and this has all the potential to be the new vegan wool. And why I'm saying this is, there is no, vegetable fibers, bast or any other pod or any, except for this plant that I've known of. I've never seen a hollow plant fiber. The hollowness exists only with the, fur or the finest cashmere. So there could be a lot of organic way of getting cashmere and everything, but you can never be sure. This you can make sure that it is only coming from the plant. You got to know, I had to break through some, process because it has to be viable also. It has to be reasonably viable, which can compete in the wool market. So we're mainly focusing on all the process being also like very sustainable. Like it is available everywhere in the wild. So what we do is we had some 8 employees last year who were collecting the fibers from the wild plants. So we've gotten permission from the government, National Biodiversity Authority to go and do so. And then we started collecting raw materials and we started processing slowly. But one by one we had a breakthrough, and we started making more finer yarns up to 40s count. I could make it right now, which is more suitable for transitional clothing, warm wears or sweaters and anything you call a warm wear you want it to be. It can go on the reason why the whole research took longer time for us is to figure out how exactly to get the strength, desirable strength, to do a wide variety of yarns. For me, hand spinning was a very good experience for me to understand too, because I've been thinking about spinning this yarn. How can we do it? I had the breakthrough so that it was very easy for me to understand. Like maybe I wouldn't be able to do it really faster, but I could really see where is the notch. So we wanted to make sure 1 year of research spent on finding out how to do it completely sustainably without using any chemicals. It takes a lot of time. The processing is, you have to process 700 kg of stems in order to make some 7 kg of fibers. It's right now, can be with this method. We are looking at increasing this, setting a business model and taking it to the more designers who are sustainable, who wants to replace wool with this. This is what we're looking at. In the bargain of setting up the process, we wanted to make sure that our dyes are very, after the fabric, there is so many processes that you can't be never sure about. Then when I started doing my research, I ended up starting my own unit in October 2018 in the aim to increase the production, and also, like, now so far it has been in a little artisanal level. We wanted to increase this, and we have invested in some missions and to do more quantity of dyeing, which can make changes. Our partners, we're partnered with some really beautiful minds there, actually. Like, one is on the research end, one is into the natural dyes already for a long time. And we got breakthrough with scientifically with a lot of things when it comes to natural dyes, like, how to fix the color very efficiently. What is, even though when we say it is not a chemical dye, there is a lot of chemistry behind the natural dyes. And it's very complex, and even the temperature and how much of material you're using, if you're not able to fix the color, where it is going at the end of the day. So if you make the process very efficient, then everything changes, the price changes. And the reason why I started this research is, like, my family has been doing weaving and they are not able to go to any sustainable dyes because the competing market is very high. Instead of telling them you don't do chemical dyes, I want to give them a solution. I want to give them a reasonable solution that they can use it in the future. Long after I'm gone, because all these things, I'm not going to take it anywhere. I have to leave it for everyone to follow. And I mean, like, there'll be a lot of people on the way taking it ahead and doing it. But somewhere we have to start. I think with this, both the projects, we've been quite occupied and running around trying to fix things, and it's so beautiful. And our journey was like, it was a lot of sleepless nights. It doesn't come for free, for sure. When you didn't have the breakthrough and you're having a expensive hobby, then for 2 years, it's not viable for anybody, and nobody is going to be appreciating it. So I think so far we've been very successful in breaking through this, and I hope we'll be able to give very good prices, amazing prices, and amazing good quality also. Like, it takes a lot of time to change the wardrobe. Changing the wardrobe is like, I got 4 natural dye shirts, like, literally, I'm telling you, like, after so much of work and everything. So it takes a lot more than changing the wardrobe or you need, it's bigger than that. So always when people are talking about sustainability yesterday, the one thing I was like asking myself this question, every time when someone talks about sustainability, do we really love the mother who gave the real birth to us? Everything comes from her, like, it's true. It's very scientific too. Do we love her, or does she loves us back? Yes, every meal we see, she loves us back. And we need to appreciate that and tell to ourselves, like, next step, it's never late. I started like 3 years ago. I'm like now 32 right now. You guys are not, a lot of young minds over here. They can, as long as you understand, go into detail, search why colors are fixed, which metal they use to fix the colors, and how to find out if it is not right. And that's where you increase your knowledge towards that. And I'm sure, like, we have a real good sustainable future. And I can see from the young minds already, like, it's starting here. I think I found a model which was completely sustainable. It goes back to, you grow it in the dry land with no water, nothing, and you use that fertilizer to the wetland to make sure you grow vegetables and food. And this is how we can make sustainable life. And I hope I can give some part of my time in my life, to put my time into this and to make this happen to some people. Now that we are giving this nutrient for free to all the, farmers who we are working with. We're not charging anything, even though it takes time to process and to do it in the right method and everything. It's a manpower. But we are doing the trials right now for next 1 year to see how this nutrient is appreciated, and then we want to give it to farmers in a very good network so that they can get it for a very good price. So there is every which way I see that this new vegan wool is the way for a sustainable warm clothing. I already see the future now. There's a lot of researches going on with PETA doing, some research in US regarding the vegan wool and everything, but it's so amazing, like there is already a solution which hummingbirds knew that we don't know. They're very smart. Thank you for the time. Thank you so much.